I'm here with Shanti Hoffman of Sorry.
Am I talking too fast?
It's turnkey dot first. What? What is it?
I'm not gonna remember that.
Quiet on the set! I'm Casey Cooper of the Compass Circle, and today I'm here with Shanti Hoffman of Hoffman Industries. So as you guys know, I've been doing trucking now for almost 20 years, and I have a lot of connections in the trucking industry. And I wanted to bring Shanti in today because we have a lot of similarities between the two of us. For one, we both started out in dump trucks, and I know that's not really as orthodox as, let's say, tractor trailers. I get a lot of calls and emails about unreal expectations in the trucking industry, so I wanted to sit down with another pioneering woman in the industry and just really explain to you guys what to expect, how to overcome this issue with the gas prices, and just get another perspective as a whole. So Shanti, you're in California. I know California is very expensive, especially the viewers out there if you live in California. Tell us a little bit about your company, how many trucks you guys have, and what you guys are doing right now to kind of help offset the fuel prices.
Okay, so currently we have 25 trucks under our authority, and you know, during the pandemic, I feel everybody got rich, right? The loads were high, gas was low. It was amazing, so everybody just bought more trucks. Then I feel like when January hit, the fuel prices went skyrocketed. It went up 50 cents, $1. And then, you know, after 2-3 months, we're like, it's gonna get better. Let's just keep the same routine. Like, we just gotta weather the storm. So now we decided, because of the skyrocket in fuel prices, talk to the drivers and tell them, hey, you know, let's all work together. Let's figure this out as a team. If the drivers can lower their fee, and same with the dispatchers. Even us at Hoffman Transportation, we take on owner-operators and fleet investors. We even decided to drop our percentage. You know, we had to reorganize a business because even if you've been in business 10 years, every day we learn something new. And right now I feel like it's like starting from ground zero because everything's changed. You know, like the rates, they're not going anywhere. We'll ask for fuel surcharges and we'll beg these brokers, hey, we need a better rate. But then once you ask them, they'll say, oh, somebody already took it for the low rate. People can't come into business thinking, I'm gonna be rich all year round, every day. Shit happens, the economy changes. It's not just with trucking, it's real estate, restaurants, everything has been affected today. So with that being said, I just feel like everybody has to work together as a team and try your best to weather the storm. I mean, we actually dropped our drivers. We pay them by percentage, so we dropped them by 5%, and we dropped our dispatchers by a couple points. And like I said, we dropped ours. And I mean, that's really what we have to do as a whole.
What do you say about people who, they get in this game and they think, I'm just gonna buy this truck, I'm gonna put a driver in the truck, and I'm gonna make all this money? Is that realistic or not?
What's realistic is don't come in the trucking business thinking, okay, I'm gonna put 40% of the truck down and then have $5,000 left in the bank thinking like, I'm gonna make all this money the first week, first month. No, it's possible, yeah, but you also have to save for the rainy day because you know, you can have the best warranty. And you know, if you're on the side of the road, your truck breaks down on the side of the road and you need that tire or you need to get it fixed right away and you're loaded, you can't use that warranty because now you're gonna be late on delivering that load. Just so many factors. You're gonna have to pay detention time to your driver. So you need to have that money stored away because it gets very expensive and costly, especially if they're buying older trucks.
There's not too many things you can get into and you're just gonna make money and all your money back automatically.
I mean, let's be realistic. It really takes 2-3 years to profit when you start a business. So a lot of people think I'm gonna make all this money the first month. Yeah, I mean, during COVID, even before January, people were making $10,000 and living life and then using that, going to buy other trucks, going to, you know, just spending it, not realizing there could be a day like today where, you know, hey, our economy just went kaput. But to say it's don't stray away from it because it's going to get better. It's not going to be like this forever, but you just have to weather the storm.
People come to me all the time and they're like, okay, I have $10,000, I have $20,000. Talk a little bit about capital and what you think is a comfortable amount for, let's say somebody's just starting off with one truck.
If you don't have a CDL, when you go to buy a truck, they're gonna ask for 30 or 40% down. So imagine, let's just say the average 2017 truck is $90,000. 30 or 40% of that you have to drop. Then right away, you gotta pay for your registration. Mind you, the registration is paid yearly. So that's gonna be what? Let's say on a 2017, $3,000 to $4,000 for that year. That's California prices. They may be, you know, cheaper elsewhere. And then you still have to down payment for insurance. So let's just say right there, that alone is $10,000. Let's say you dropped $30,000 on your down payment on your truck. I would say at least have $20,000 in the bank.
Yeah.
You know? Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe they should have more, but I just...
Yeah, I mean, if your motor goes out, it's $20,000 right there. So I always try to look at the worst, you know, scenario. Can I handle the worst scenario? I get a lot of people who run out of money, you know, they can't pay their insurance. People don't talk about this, but especially for tractor trailers, you know, a lot of the DMVs in the pandemic were by appointment only. So you go buy your truck, and then 45 days later, your notice due, but you can't get IFTA decals because your IFTA office is delayed. Did you guys have any issues with IFTA?
We didn't really, but I know a lot of people out of state were having issues.
You told us about your story about your husband driving. I actually drove too to kind of cut costs in the beginning. I don't have to drive now, but if I could go back and do it all over again, I would have never got a truck. I ended up buying what's called an asset-based truck, which means I own the truck, I paid the note, I was responsible for repairs, so on and so forth. I think it's a lot easier to scale your business the way you guys have done. So my direct advice is don't make the mistakes that we made.
Right.
Even though it worked out for us, it might not necessarily work out for anybody else that way. I personally got in my truck and I drove my truck for 6 years when I first got into trucking. That was the way that I was able to offset my costs. G drove for you guys for a while and you were able to make money and save that money. Don't try to focus on your own equipment. Equipment is really expensive. So if you have the money to spend, that's fine. But if you want to get into trucking and you want to be able to scale, just sign on owner-operators. Y'all have 25 trucks. Some of them are owned, I'm sure, and some of them are a little mix of owner-operators. But it's way easier to manage an owner-operator who has a driver versus trying to control your driver, being responsible for repairs. What would be your advice to people out there who want to get into trucking?
Honestly, if you're spending your last on your truck, I wouldn't suggest it. Let's say like you just quit your job, you're gonna go buy a truck, hire a driver. Do not do that. Make sure you have other means of income. If you are coming in as an investor and you're not driving, look at it as an investment, right? So keep your 9 to 5, do whatever else you gotta do to make money, and look at that, like I said, as your investment, and know that you may make money that month or you may not.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I feel. I mean, it's crazy because a lot of people, like I said, during the pandemic bought all these trucks, and then it's like, but it doesn't mean don't stray away from it. If you do have trucks, and let's say you have 1 or 2 and you're an owner operator, I would suggest running them under bigger companies because we do get access to direct shippers and we get better rates coming in as a whole when you have more trucks. You know, companies, call Costco. You just have to step outside the box instead of just going on low boards and thinking you're gonna make it. You have to really be creative in this business.
It sounds so simple, but a lot of people just don't do it.
They just think, okay, I'm gonna go buy a truck, I'm gonna go take a selfie and say I own a truck, and they come to me like, I wanna go buy 10 trucks, like what's up? And I'm like, it doesn't work like that. Start with 1, see how it works, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Even allowing trucks to sign under our authority, that is a huge liability. And it's crazy because people kind of like feel some type of way when you're like, oh, I charge 15, 20%. Right. Do they know that if their driver gets in that truck and kill somebody and it's under our authority, guess who they're coming after? The owner of that authority and business. And that authority that we've kept up, perfect standing for 10 years, 8 years, whatever, is done.
Yeah. So if you're looking to lease on or purchase a truck, make sure you hit the website at www.thecompasscircle.com.